What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another football video. I'm joined by MixedSid for this video for our... Hello, Aaron.
Hello.
We're here for our Christmas special, so happy Christmas to everybody that will celebrate Christmas. If you don't,
happy
then just
holidays.
Enjoy the video, yeah. So, yeah, pretty much that. But we're here for our little special podcast. We did these back in the summer, doing some podcasts over here again on Christmas Day to be delivering another podcast for us all to talk about. Now, because we've not done one in so long, we're putting on my Man City Christmas hat. Go on, then. I've got all my pin badges on and everything. That's pretty decent. It's probably quite heavy. There we go. But we're here to pretty much discuss what we haven't discussed really since last doing our podcast, really. Everything that's happened with Manchester City, everything that's happening in our lives and everything. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy. Make sure, like always, before we crack on with this video though, make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. We're pre-recording this, so hopefully we're somewhere close to 5,200 subscribers, maybe even past it if we're feeling ambitious. But if we haven't, then any help towards that would be much appreciated. So make sure you help support my channel by pressing that red button and subscribing. Don't forget, you can check out my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen. All of Aaron's links and all of our channel links that we'll be discussing in this video you will find in description below too. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and daily transfer videos will be coming back for Manchester City as of January 1st. So if you are interested in hitting me up with any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries, then you can find my email in description below, or it's just simply jsgc171@gmail.com. Try not to look so bored about my plugging here. But we're going to first up talk about our first topic of conversation, and speaking of January and transfer videos, Manchester City's plans for January. Who do you think we should be? What should we be going after? What do you think the development
Well, I think it's also obvious where Manchester City is going wrong. It is the defence. As you've got Fernandinho, Otamendi and Stones, and if you get any more injuries to it, what does it leave you with? It's already found out this season, which is why he's so many points behind Liverpool. Why the season is on a knife's edge for City. It's not gone well, and
I feel like City need to probably win, I want to say every game, but that's kind of realistic. Every game from now to the end of the season, if we want to win,
but just raise one point. I've been looking at Liverpool's fixtures. They've got corners. They've got a tasty January. There is potential slip-ups there. It's tasty.
Well, they've got a game in hand, so there's areas to be developed there.
Yeah, especially with Boxing Day with Leicester away. That's a test.
They've still got to go to the Etihad. They've still got to go to Arsenal. They've still got to go to Tottenham. They've still got to go to Chelsea as well.
I think they beat them. I think they got Chelsea at
Anfield. I know a lot of their fixtures have come at Anfield. Like, that's just looking further ahead to Liverpool. I think we've got ourselves a scalp on our hands to try and overthrow Leicester within the coming weeks. It's something we need to be targeting, and obviously with the loss that we had against Manchester United, which was evident to me, with our point here, that we do need defenders, don't we? Yeah. We do need defenders.
Still, there is a question of Man City's left back. It's a question that's not been fully answered yet with Mendy's injury.
Well, the problem we've got is we've got two left backs and a makeshift left back in Zinchenko, and something's going to have to give somewhere. Does that mean like a Zinchenko leaving? Does that mean selling Mendy for us to finally sort out that left back situation? Because we can't have four left backs. I mean, that's just ridiculous, having four left backs. So someone's going to have to be sold, or something's going to have to give somewhere. So what do we do? Angelino's the least of the players that might leave because he's homegrown, but he'd be the obvious choice for a loan or something like that. Like, I think he's done well when playing for City. I just feel like he needs more development, and that's playing game after game after game. He worked really well whilst he was at PSV. We brought him back, and I'm not too sure what our ambitions are with Angelino going forward. So that's probably something for us to keep an eye on. I think that's for the summer when we'll start targeting possibly a left back.
The summer, but let's take it back to topic of centre backs. You've not replaced Company, and you've had Laporte injured, and look at where you are.
Sitting third in the league.
And look, have a game to go 14 clear. 11
points behind Liverpool. They've got a game in hand. It's difficult, yeah. I don't think you can replace Vincent Kompany because he's irreplaceable. His leadership and his experience that he had at City is just irreplaceable. I do think that what do we go for? I think going for a defender that sounds quite stereotypical, but a player that would suit the Premier League. So I'm talking physical.
Like you tried to get Harry Maguire and failed.
Yeah, I'm talking physical. I'm talking good in the air to sort out set pieces, which we seem to be over the last few weeks a lot better at. I'm talking physical, I'm talking a good header of the ball, a good ball playing defender, but I think most importantly, the next defender we have to bring in has to be quick.
Yes.
That game against Leicester...
It is with Manchester City how you play. You need quick centre-backs. There's Otamendi and Fernandinho were left for dead, but Fernandinho is not a centre-back, and Otamendi likes to jump out of defence like a stopper role like that.
So that's City's plans, possibly for January, is to look at a centre-back. I've already done a video identifying some
It depends
defenders.
what City's ambition is this season. Because I'm Friday Champions League field with that defence. Because I don't know how close Laporte is to returning.
January, end of January. He's back in training now.
It will take a while to get back.
It'll take 6 weeks, I reckon. From the time of recording this, he's just started to resume. He started running and working with the first team again. So I reckon he's probably about 6 weeks. Leroy Sané seems like he's maybe a week or two behind that. So I reckon he'll probably be back probably sometime towards maybe middle to end of Feb. So go on. What do you think we do?
Because I think we'll rate the defence. Your centre-backs that have played this season.
Okay.
Right, we'll start with Stones.
Not had a very good season, 4 out of 10.
Has he been disappointing for you ever since you signed him? His progress and he's expecting a ball-playing defender.
When we first signed him, he was the ball-playing defender and he was a good player. He picked up his first injury, then struggled when coming back from his injury. He came into his second season and started off extremely good, was keeping clean sheets galore. He picked up his injury and then he struggled to get going, and we've gone into this season and he picks up niggling injuries, not long-term injuries like he's had, but he's picked up just niggling little injuries that he's just holding him back, and he seems like he's struggling for confidence. I have had discussions with others where they said that John Stones is a really good defender. He's just not a really good defender for Manchester City. You could move John Stones back to Everton, he'd become the main man at Everton, and he'd stand out as being a very good player in like a big fish in a small pond. He comes to City with the big pond, and all of a sudden he's a small fish, and every little flaw that he's got will be exposed for the way that Man City like to play. You put him in a defensive side, he'll do well.
Yeah. But if you've got a quick defender, which City needs to protect its defence.
It's very important. He's picking up long-term injuries and coming back and getting back to that level.
It's a nice match. I'd like to say this. Footy Manager playing as Manchester City did look because they play a high defensive line. Playing Man City's, I try and go as close as what Pep, like attacking, tiki-taka and a high defensive line. And the amount of times teams could counter me to hit me on the counter, which brings in the quickness of the centre-backs. Walker's a very good defender, which he is.
It's something City could explore, actually, Walker at centre-back, because he's quick.
I know England's explored. There's been an idea from Pep, I think he gave that Southgate.
Because he's quick. Play him on the right side of defence, because he's quick. He can overlap, and you still got 2 covering defenders in front of him. He's quick, he can get there. But City have to change their formation, and it's not something that we've done. Even though we picked up these injuries, we haven't done that. So I think it's important for us that we do bring in a defender in January, just purely because I don't know how good Aymeric Laporte's going to be when he comes back.
No.
Good point that you said about John Stones and giving him a 4 out of 10, but he struggled when coming back from his injuries, and if Aymeric Laporte struggles to get back to that top level, it could take him months. Yeah.
It could take a while.
It could be a shadow of his former self, so
we need to like you mentioned with Sonny, that'll take a while.
It'll take a while, so I think it's important to bring in some cover. So Nicolas Otamendi, I feel like his time at Manchester City is nearly upon us. I think he had a terrible start to this season, and as the weeks have gone on, he's got better, so I'd probably give him a 5 out of 10 rating. I feel like that's something we'll target more in the summer, which we'll speak about in a moment. Fernandinho, again, is at the centre-back, so I think it's unfair for me to rate how good he is at centre-back.
Yes, that's what City's missed, that protection defences. Rodri's a completely different player to that.
He is. Yeah,
defensive.
When you've got a good defence in front of him.
Your water carrier, Fernando, you're doing the tactical foul to stop, and there's a good reader of the game as well to stop the counter early on.
So that's something for us to sort out. Rodri's played at centre-back. I didn't think he looked too bad when he played him at centre-back, to be fair. But none of these defenders have been out. Like, none of the defenders have been like a 5 out of 10
Rodri
above it.
So. Team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good for set pieces. Like I said, I feel like we're better at defending set pieces this season than what we were last season. So that's good. It's just there's lots of little gaps there that can be ran at, and like you said, the centre back situation is a problem. Aymeric Laporte coming back from injury, how good's he going to be?
That's all you got in
could
there,
be a problem.
Eric Garcia, it's just that he's not really sampling them.
Eric Garcia.
Which leaves me a question: is he good enough for City? That is.
He's level-headed. It's just I think Pep. I was going to say struggled. I don't think that's the word, but Pep is reluctant to bred young players in. Like he'll play them when they need playing. When he decides that they need playing. We're not Borussia Dortmund, we're not AS Monaco, we're not players that we struggle with strength in depth, so we have to play the young players and they'll play every single game like some other clubs do, and from that the young players really prosper. With City are nice and patient and they'll bred them in and they'll see how they do. So Phil Foden will play more games this season. We saw at the end of last season he started playing more. Then this season he's not played as much as what we was hoping for, particularly when we've had injuries to David Silva at one stage, and he's not played as much football as we was hoping for. But I think it's something maybe to talk about in a season or two's time. Like these players that we mentioned, Eric Garcia and Phil Foden, they're still teenagers. They're young. They are young players.
It will be interesting to see how Phil Foden develops once David Silva leaves Manchester City in the summer.
Yeah, David Silva will leave Manchester City in the summer, so it'll be interesting to see how these players progress. I don't think we'll bring in a central midfielder. I could be wrong. The early indications I'm getting for the summer transfer window is that City will be targeting a striker as a long-term. Sergio Aguero replacement might be on the agenda, as City are targeting 3 players. So I presume them 3 players, one's going to be a centre-back. I'm going to presume we may well have another look at another centre-back, possibly a left-back. I reckon we'll probably go for a left-sided centre-back. And that's what I think we might go for in January. You know, someone like Nathan Ake, so allows Laporte to, because he can play in the Champions League and he's a homegrown player. I think that might be worthwhile for City investing, just so there's overall like a long-term plan. It'll be a rotated option for Laporte, so Laporte's not playing 50 plus games a season. I mean, Pep likes his players to be rotated, and players should be playing maybe half the games, 30 to 35 games a season is ideally what we'd be looking for. Other than the obviously the outstanding players that will be playing near enough every game. I mean, Aymeric Laporte, did he play every single game last season in the Premier League? Did he not do 30? He might have missed one game. Like I swear he did like 37 or 38 games last season.
It shows you what a big player was last season.
Yeah. So that's
they've come in those last 10 games.
Huge miss. I think if the opportunity comes back for City to bring company back on the coaching staff, I think they should as well. Definitely.
For Arteta.
Yes. I do agree with that. Arteta leaving, I think that's another talking point as well, actually. Arteta leaving, what do we do now?
But before we answer that question, I want targets now for City centre-back if they do go for one. Who would you like to see? I've
already done a video on that, on who I think City will target, so I've gone for possibly Skriniar of Inter Milan, 24-year-old Slovakian centre-back. I see him as more an Otamendi type player, so I think that might be a summer thing. I've spoken about Koulibaly before. I know
getting on a bit.
He's 28 years old, growing concerns that he's unhappy in Naples, and Napoli might want to sell if they're needing some money. They're a bit of a they're a strange club, Napoli, on how they are run.
Yeah, no.
Very strange. We've dealt with Napoli, we know how they work. It'll be a difficult transfer to get done. There's talk of that player from Leicester, you know, the one that did the deflected shot that went in, Soyuncu, I think his name is, a Turkish lad. Him. And also, like I said, Nathan Ake. I think Nathan Ake is a realistic transfer that we might go after, but apparently some competition coming in from Chelsea because they've no longer got their transfer ban. But there is talk that they're targeting Jadon Sancho, who City have also been linked with, and I will add that City do have first dibs, so they can match.
Bring him back if Sane goes to Bayern.
I don't like his attitude.
No, it's a question about his dominance.
I don't like his attitude. I think he's a really good player, and I think if Pep wanted him and knew how to manage him, I would be more than happy. I feel like we'd be bringing him back to stop him going to another club, though, which I don't think is a good reason to be signing players. That sounds like something Manchester United would do, and their transfer policy stinks. So, for me, Koulibaly. If not, I'd go for Ake because he's homegrown. We don't have to sell anybody for the short term. And in the summer, if Otamendi leaves, I'd definitely be going for that Skriniar of Inter Milan. He's a nice, physical, tall player. I feel like Italian players and Serie A players suit the Premier League
So does the
very well.
Napoli centre-back as well as a decent one.
Which one?
The one that partners
Koulibaly.
Yeah, Koulibaly.
I'm no expert on Napoli's team other than
I know they're both quite. That's what I do know when researching them both. It's because I've got his name.
I think City are after another striker from Inter Milan too. Is it Martinez? 22-year-old him. I think that's his name. There's another player.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
That's another player that's what's been tooted for possibly for the summer. So that's where our plans are going towards. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think City would sign? Because everyone loves transfers.
And tell me, who would you like to see at Manchester City and the defensive problems this season?
Yeah.
Who is the company replacement?
Anyway, what's our next topic of
discussion? Well, that brings us on to the summer now for Manchester City.
Yeah.
So we'll go for that. City's plans for the summer. So
I think
David Silva's left.
Good point. Start with David Silva. I think that's the best point because he's City's longest serving player now.
He is.
And slowly but surely that core spine, Zabaleta, the Joe Harts, David Silva, Sergio Aguero's, Vincent Kompany's, Yaya Touré's.
And De Bruyne is coming.
Yeah, I was just thinking back.
Sergio Aguero will be the last man standing.
He will, yeah. You know, that decade-long great team that we have, it's going to come to an end, I reckon, in the next 18 months or so. And these players will be no more at City, which is sad. Makes me really sad. But David Silva, he's got offers from Japan to go and join that Kobe side, I think they're called. You know who, is it Iniesta?
Yeah, he went there.
Iniesta, that's where he is. There's talk from there. There's talk of big money offers coming in from the Middle East. Can't remember where. If I'm completely honest, I want to say Saudi Arabia, but don't quote me on that. And interestingly, is David Beckham that investor at Inter Miami that's forming in the MLS?
He is.
MLS, they're after him. Apparently, two of their targets are Joe Hart and David Silva. So, will David Silva go for some money and go and play elsewhere? I feel like if he's going to the MLS, I don't understand why.
I think I would like for David Silva, personally for him, I'd like to see him finish out his career back where he started at Las Palmas. Because he is a Canarian lad. He
did say that he wanted to end his career back home, which is in Gran Canaria, which is Las Palmas.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I wouldn't blame him if he did take the money, but it'd be nice to see him end it.
He might just do like his last final season before he retires.
That's part of like David Nugent presses come home.
I feel like David Silva still has a little bit left to offer the world, and I feel like if he's going to go to the MLS, I feel like New York City Football Club should keep
not gone in for him or any interest.
I don't know about China, if I'm honest. They've been hit by that salary because they used to just go out there and throw a load of money. Then they got hit by that salary cap thing, didn't they? Because the whole point of the Chinese Super League was for them to be producing Chinese players. Because they wanted China to be a force on the footballing world, and China was spending loads of money bringing in, well, aging players. I'm speaking. I mean, they've got a couple of good coups bringing over, but yeah, the majority of them they were bringing over players like was it Demba Ba went over there?
Yeah, you got Hulkler now and all.
Yeah. These are good players, by the way. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe China will target him. I don't know. I do feel like
Fernandinho went there before going back to Barcelona.
That was a weird signing. That was a really weird signing. I do remember that one. That was crazy. Yeah. Our plans for the summer, though, I think striker, we'll go for 2 centre-backs, one this January, one next summer. We might even look at a left-back. I'm not too sure we'll look at a central midfielder just purely because I feel like I was just about to say I'll be angry if we go for a central midfielder to replace David Silva because Phil Foden's ready.
Got others that can
ready and waiting to go.
Mahrez got them.
Bernardo Silva can play there. I'm more than happy for Bernardo Silva. Like, it's important to see what we do with Leroy Sané.
Yes.
That takes us on to another plan for the summer. What do we
do
for Leroy Sané?
Raheem Sterling out on the left.
Raheem Sterling and Mahrez and Bernardo Silva, but they're not predominantly left wingers. So yeah, a serious injury to Raheem Sterling, and all of a sudden we're looking very short. So I think it's I think it's a huge shame that we lost not just Jadon Sancho but Brahim Diaz, because he was a winger too, and it'd have been perfect to have a nice young player coming through. Like if he had remained patient, give himself 2 more seasons. With what's happening with Leroy Sané, it just shows in football you never know. Like he could have been developing really nicely. Instead, he's at Real Madrid, and Real Madrid have him apparently on the loan list now, ready to loan him out.
Especially like Manchester City and all those teams don't like it because the demand instant success.
They want it
which
now.
City do now as well.
They
which
want
is
it
why
now.
Pep's reluctant to play your youngsters like Garcia. So how good they actually are. Foden, like eventually he'll get there. I think Foden.
I think so. Just
whether
time
be,
will tell.
I was gonna say, from a point of view, controversial. I don't think he'd be as good as David Silva.
Well, David Silva's a World Cup winning, European Championship winning central midfielder. He is a phenomenal talent, and I think if Phil Foden can get, not necessarily surpassing him, but get near to him, then he'll have a very good career. I don't know what's... they're not similar types of players, though. Phil Foden looks like the type of player that wants to make things happen and score goals. David Silva is the type of player that... what can I create? What can I do? Is there someone in a better position? Whereas Phil Foden has
that reluctance to pull the trigger, even when sometimes it's better to.
Earlier in his career at City, he did get criticised a little bit. David Silva for being in great positions, have a shot. Instead, he'll look for the another option. Reminds me of the type of player that back in the day would suit Arsenal, always trying to walk it in. Yeah. Decent players, though. We'll have to wait and see with regards to that one.
Well, yeah, it's striker. That's what's interesting me, is City are after a striker for Aguero, which means City have questions over Jesus. Now, that's the talking point. I think it's a good one.
Well, Gabriel Jesus has been linked with a move to Bayern Munich. I don't think that will suffice into anything.
It's Bayern certainly not helped themselves over the summer with the conduct of Sana.
Definitely not. What's your opinion, Gabriel Jesus? I'll let you do yours a bit first, rather than mine. What's your opinion?
Like most City fans, I don't think he's the man to replace Aguero. I've not seen enough. It's took him till January, and there's certainly question marks over it.
Okay.
I think he's a good false nine like that, but whether he could get goals, the 20 goals that City need, that's a different matter.
Okay. I think he's got better. He's played... Like, he first came to City and he liked to be in the right place at the right time and scored goals. Then he's been rotating a lot with Aguero. Reminds me of the type of player that wants to be playing every single game. Like, give Gabriel Jesus 38 Premier League games, then we'll see how good he is. City don't have a whole season to say, let's see how good you are. Like you said,
no, you can see the difference between Aguero needed probably about 2 shots to do it, and Aguero, I reckon Jesus is more like a 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 striker.
Yeah, he's not as good at finishing. I think Jesus works harder for the team.
Yes.
I think Jesus helps, in particular, players like Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva to get more involved in the game, because he plays that false 9 and drops deeper, and it does suit when you're playing that style of football. I mean, just look how good Roberto Firmino is. He's not necessarily
I don't know if it's
20,
a Brazilian
25
thing, whether they've turned Jesus into that.
He's not necessarily a 25 goal season striker, is he? Firmino.
No.
Firmino isn't either, but the work rate and what they offer to the team are actually really good. And I feel like if City can bring in to replace Aguero a top class goal scorer, not a striker, a goal scorer, they can make it work. I do think Jesus should be given the chance, and he's played the last few games for City, and I feel like in some games he goes missing, in some games he struggles, and in other games you see just how good he is. Zagreb away, he was phenomenal. He
That's
does
what I want
have
to see
it
from him, the consistency.
Yeah, he scored a hat-trick in that game. I'm fairly sure he took the match ball. He scored all 3 in that game. Jesus is a wonderful
that
player.
To centre mid. I'd like to mention this. Dynamo Zagreb, Danny Olmo.
He's getting linked with City, yeah. I don't think he'll sign. I don't think we'll sign.
I don't think you'll get him either.
21-year-old, isn't he?
It's not a position you need.
Is he So they signed him from Barcelona?
Who, Dynamo?
Yeah. Is that not where they brought him from? He's not Barcelona. He's a Spanish youngster. He's a Spanish youngster. He's a really good player.
Is he? I thought it's Croatian.
No, he's a Spanish player. The 21-year-old. Is that the one you're on about? The
21-year-old. I also thought it's Croatian.
No, Spanish. I'll check on that one.
That leads us to our next talking point: is how is Manchester City doing this season? How is the season going? It's been disappointing. It's got a reminiscence of 16-17. This. It's got all the makings of it, and it's quite familiar. Because with a tough tie against Real Madrid, it could be a disaster by March. Which will leave City going for the domestic cups if it does all go very wrong.
Espanyol, Barcelona, he played for Zagreb, is Spanish, yeah. Danny Olmo is Spanish, yeah. 21-year-old, photos right. Anyway, carry on.
But I think the Premier League titles are gone. It's too many points. Arsenal will slip that up. Because I think it'll be very high at 90 points again. You're asking 98. Can Liverpool do the 100 or even top City? Very realistic and very possible. Which leaves it to Man City then to dominate seconds, Joe says. So we take less and just concentrate on the second and then the Champions League. But are City good enough? Especially with the defence in the mess it is at the minute. Are they good enough to take on giants? City's never beaten a top European giant. That would be a massive scalp if they could beat Real Madrid this season. That would just be finally, it could be the game or they make a Manchester City in the future go, finally, we've got the belief, we've got the confidence, we can do the top team in Europe, as that will be a pivotal moment in Manchester City's season and maybe for the future as well.
Our European success lies on it, yeah.
Because they've not had some massive scalp yet, especially in the knockout stage. Yeah. I know you have beaten Barcelona and Bayern before, but not in the knockout.
Not knocked them out of the competition before. It's different when you play them in the group stage because you know you've got other games that can make up for it. This is straight knockout. Real Madrid or Manchester City, one of them's going to be left having a really disappointing season because of this.
Because I think a lot's been made of Real Madrid out in the poll, saying they're not too many far behind in La Liga.
Are they not top?
I think you might be right. I think they may actually be top.
They're
or if not, the level.
In Europe, they've been not good enough, but in La Liga, they are getting there. They've got Zinedine Zidane, they've got good quality players, so Courtois in net, they've got Sergio Ramos we're going to have to find a way of dealing with, who will obviously look to try and wind the City players up. He does seem to enjoy stuff like that. They've got Eden Hazard, we all know from his time at Chelsea what he's like. Karim Benzema, it'll be interesting to see. They're going to want to run at our defence, aren't they? So, like, I'm not too sure. I mean, Modric, they've got in the middle, they've got some really good players. So.
Aging players. Well,
they're aging players, but they're still top quality players that are more than capable of hurting us, should we allow them. We will have Laporte and Leroy Sané back, though, at least for the second leg. So that could be very important. We do need a big European scalp, and like Aaron said, pivotal moment for City. It's not happened yet. City fans don't like the European Cup. They don't like the Champions League. We don't like UEFA. We don't like how things are running and how things work. We're falling out of love. We nearly came back and had our pivotal European moment last season against Tottenham to be rudely snatched away from us by VAR, shall we say. I still have nightmares over that, by the way. It was a long night.
Even I celebrated that one.
It was a long night. Yeah, Liverpool the season before, it's just not happened. We went out to AS Monaco in the first season under Pep too, and that was the game that we beat them eventually.
5-3 in the first leg.
And then just... This is very important, I will add, though. When we're playing an English side, I like to play them at the Etihad first, because we're very good at the Etihad. If we can get a good result, we're then more than capable of putting the teams under pressure away from home. When we go up against the European side, I always prefer to be away first, get them back to the Etihad, get a good result away from home, don't lose, get them back to the Etihad. We've got Real Madrid at the Bernabeu first leg. I want to say don't lose.
Play normal style, not showing if there's one thing.
I think we're capable of beating them there, though.
I think if it's like a big coverage and all along, they're showing they're to be at.
Yeah, Real Madrid must be very unhappy about this draw. I mean, I'm surely Real Madrid. Real Madrid.
Well, that's what you get when you've not done well.
Yeah, Real Madrid must be thinking to themselves, we've now got to find a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne.
It's PSG's dealt with and they're beating them and drawn against them. So
group stage though, it's not a knockout. It doesn't count. Does not count. This matters.
Yeah, it does knock out. There's no hiding now.
I don't agree with the statements that people say that City's way of success is they have to win the Champions League this season. I think
a lot of neutrals say that to try and get you onto European City.
No, I don't agree with that.
But they're all right in saying that other clubs will finally take notice of Manchester City if you did win the European Cup at last. European success to get the respect of all these big clubs abroad. And the fans as well abroad.
It's difficult because the Champions League is a novelty, and Pep's one of the most experienced coaches in the world, and he recognises that the European Cup is a novelty. It's not something that your success should be judged on whether you've won it or whether you haven't, because to me, the European Cup, You don't have to play pretty football. You don't have to play particularly well. You just need to know how to get the job done and win. And you don't have to be the best team in Europe. It sounds crazy to win the European Cup. Chelsea 2012 is my example, because that, to me, that team was okay. It was nothing better than okay. I think that if you could put them in the Premier League now and compare them to how Liverpool and City are doing, they wouldn't even get near them. Nowhere near them. Yet that won the European Cup somehow.
You need luck as well to win the European
You
Cup.
do.
You do. But Liverpool have been the best team in Europe, like consistent final now winners. So they've been
teams don't know how to beat Liverpool. That's the fact.
Do away just at Anfield. They can't suss them.
They can't suss them at Anfield.
I think they're showing too much respect at Anfield, these teams.
I think there's only a select few teams that are capable of going toe to toe with Liverpool and being able to not outplay them, but be able to soak them up, absorb them, and hurt them. And I'm talking Juventus. I'm talking even better, Napoli. Inter Milan could possibly do it.
Because you know the manager is. Do you know who the manager is?
Inter's. Yeah, it's Conte.
Yes.
Yeah, more than capable of doing it. I think the best example is who they've drawn. And I think that's such a dangerous tie for them in the last 16. We've got it difficult against Real Madrid. Liverpool's got it very difficult going up against Atletico Madrid. They are very good. Very good at defending. Liverpool's going to have to find a way of scoring at least twice past that mean defence. They are a team that will be more than happy to 0-0 them.
Yes.
They will be more than happy to 0-0 them. So Liverpool's going to have to fight. And the good thing about Atletico is they're frightening when they go forward. They don't create. They're like Napoli. They're not very good at creating too many opportunities. They might create 2 or 3 the month, capable of putting them 2 or 3 away.
I think I will say for Liverpool, I don't think they've been too disarmed or even deep down like Jurgen Klopp too bothered to go out in the last 16.
I wouldn't have surprised me if they went out to Salzburg, and I don't think any fan would have been too disappointed. They just won the European Cup. Their baby, the one they want more than anything,
to end 30 years of hurt,
is that Premier League trophy. And the longer this goes on, like you said, Liverpool have a bad January, then difficult run of fixtures. All of a sudden, it would be worthwhile Liverpool saying, actually, we could do without. We've already won the European Cup. We righted our wrong when we lost the European Cup final. Let's move on and try and get this Premier League trophy, because City are like a machine. We're a bit fiendish, and I'm getting the feeling, I don't want to curse us too much. I feel like if we can just get a win in our next 3 games, difficult games that we've got in the Premier League, we'll just get through these games, win our next 3 Premier League games. All of a sudden, City's got a momentum. 5 winning games in a row. We're playing every week. Looking at Premier League teams, looking at the fixtures as well, the winnable fixtures for City, they've got the momentum there. City are more than capable of winning 15 to 20 Premier League games in a row. We've done it twice in the last 2 seasons. Both of them were key. Liverpool's already done theirs. They're on a really good run. I think they've dropped only 2 points
1 draw
all season. So they're on an incredible run that City's going to have to do something
it says a lot of
fiendish to topple it.
To me personally, that says a lot of the Premier League, that Liverpool's so many points.
I think teams are scared of them.
I think they are.
I think teams were scared of us for the last 2 seasons. I don't think teams are as fearful.
Yeah, plus I think the quality's down. That's my personal opinion. That's a controversial, but it's a Premier League all that.
Well, no, not really. No, like bar Liverpool and City, who are outstanding talents in the Premier League. Everywhere else leaves a lot to be desired.
It is, including on the European scene as well. Their teams leave a lot to be desired, including Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barca.
Yes, needing a little bit more quality.
It's like when Messi and Ronaldo, if they finally do retire, that quality not there anymore.
Messi and Ronaldo. But yeah, that's where our season's heading. Our season's heading for... I'd be more than happy if you was to offer me, right now, 2nd place in the European Cup.
Alright, I'll ask you the question now. City's gone out in the last 16. You finished 2nd, you managed to get a respectable run together. But you've won the FA Cup and the League Cup. Is that a success for City? That
gives us something to work with. Considering how the season's gone in the first half of the season, I'd say, yeah, I'll take that right now. I would swap a trophy win not talking the Premier League, I'm talking Carabao Cup or FA Cup, I would swap one of them for a place in, not winning the Champions League, but get to a final. Just to get somewhere. Just so, do you know what I mean? Like your head, like you got to the final, to get in there, get it done.
Yeah.
I do think though, if we got to a European Cup final, I think we'd win it. Just purely based on how Pep is in a cup final. Pep's the biggest serial winner out there, isn't he? He loves winning. He's obsessed. Do you think Pep will leave if we win the European Cup this season?
Possible.
I think that's possible too. I know there's a lot of talk.
Do you think it'd go if City have a trophy-less one?
No, I don't think Pep will leave unless we win the European Cup. I think Pep would be more than happy.
His contract for another 1 year.
I think he'll leave. I think he'll leave at the end of this season if we win the European Cup. If we don't, I don't think he'll sign a new deal. I think he'll do one more season. I think Pep knows Premier League's always the ambition. Like I don't think there's any expectation. He has compared City to Real Madrid and Barcelona and said, "You want pressure? Go and manage them clubs." They're teams that demand success. Man City don't demand success. If Man City don't win the Premier League this season and we finish second, the season won't. It'll be regarded as disappointing, but it won't be regarded as you're fired. Will lead Man City into next season. So, I want the European Cup. Man City want the European Cup.
It could be an interesting season with City. If you can get the right replacement join, you can get your run together and finally ask the questions. It could leave you free, like Liverpool to win the Premier League and you to concentrate on Europe.
For us to say, actually, use the Premier League as a good practice and rotate some players when needed. Like a couple of weeks before playing a big Real Madrid game, just say to Kevin De Bruyne, actually, play 60 minutes. I said Real Madrid, like I say it every game.
Sorry.
Bless you, Aaron. I say it every game. Like I speak about oppositions and I speak about their players and the quality. And I've said it for the last few weeks, and I'll continue to say it. Whilst Kevin De Bruyne is playing for Manchester City and he's starting. Bless you again. Whilst Kevin De Bruyne is starting for Man City in the games. You okay?
Keep sneezing.
You there? We're cool. We're good.
Hopefully.
Okay. I was saying, Kevin De Bruyne is a talent, and he's a teams have to find a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne. And the one thing I like about Kevin De Bruyne is even when De Bruyne isn't playing too well, do you need to go and get some tissue?
Yeah.
Right.
Safe.
Okay. Are you safe?
No,
right,
go
and get some tissue.
Please.
I'll continue moving the conversation on. But
yeah, great season so far.
The most important thing for teams is they have to find a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne. And whilst teams haven't found a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne, we always stand a chance. Kevin De Bruyne, if he doesn't play too well, Kevin De Bruyne can make things happen even when not playing well. An assist here, a great ball across. And as long as our players are clinical and they're in the right place at the right time, we are capable of beating anybody. And that is what gives me hope going forward into the Real Madrid game. More pressure will be on Real Madrid than us. City know that we can go into that game, play our system, and play our way forward. Real Madrid, as long as we've got a fully fit squad, are going to have to find a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne in the middle. How do they do that? I don't know, because teams haven't found a way of dealing with Kevin De Bruyne. And the longer that continues, the more dangerous City will become. That is where our success lies. De Bruyne, if we can keep him injury-free, we have every opportunity and every chance of making a success of our season. Our season hasn't been too great so far, albeit down to the defensive frailties that City have got. But we do have a chance to be able to do something about it in the second half of the season. Give ourselves every win, 19 wins. That would be incredible from now until the end of the season. Might not be enough for us to win the Premier League, but we'll still be able to rack up a good points tally. I think I'd be happy, like points tally, I think I'd be happy if we can get close to 90 points. Because normally 90 points is enough to win the Premier League. I'm almost certain it won't be enough to win it this season, but it's good enough. We're at where we need to be at. It's up to the other Premier League teams then to start playing catch up to Liverpool and find ways of dealing with them so they start dropping more points. Yeah. That's what it was like last season. I felt like it was just City battling with Liverpool. It was like the only team that knew how to deal with Liverpool and knew what it took was the load of energy from City and was the only team capable of doing that. We're not the only team capable of doing that. No team is invincible, but they're going to have to find a way of dealing with Liverpool. How they do that well, teams will have to figure it out for themselves. I think teams are scared of Liverpool. That if they go ahead, they'll defend deep. If teams have got a draw in the last 10 minutes, they'll sit really deep and try and hold on to their point. Liverpool will crack them. Goals. Whereas in the Champions League, teams aren't like that really. Teams are like, actually, you're going to come forward because you need to win the game. We're going to soak it up and we're going to hurt you. That's their mentality. That's how they think. Premier League teams think a little bit differently. They're happy for the point. And through that constant spell, because Liverpool's got so much quality, they win games and find them goals, don't they? That's what teams in Premier League need to suss out. Liverpool don't lose many games, and that's all down to the constant pressure and teams taking the foot off the gas. Like, teams are more than capable of going ahead against Liverpool, but they stop. Why stop? Teams used to do it against City, but this season it's different. Teams go ahead and they think, I want a second goal. Norwich, Wolves, Manchester United, all push for second goals. Chelsea had the opportunities to get second goals when they played against us. Leicester had opportunities to get 2 goals against us. You get 2 goals against us, you've got every chance of getting something from the game. So yeah, that's some. If teams did what they do to us this season to Liverpool, they'd be dropping more points, guarantee it. But through fear, they don't, and they show too much respect. Something that teams, if they want to be successful, they have to sort out. So
that's not to start out, can't we, against them, especially with the fullbacks bombing up. But
I disagree.
Enough about Liverpool.
I disagree. I think teams do know how to do it because they do go ahead against Liverpool. It's just when they do it, they then stop. And because they stop, that allows Liverpool to then pursue where they want to be. Liverpool will always score at least 1 or 2 goals per game, at least. Like City, there's too much quality there. So you're going to have to score 1 more than them, which is why the City games against Liverpool are always so good. Both got the same mentality, they both want to win. Liverpool might have beaten us at Anfield, but we did have our opportunities, and if we put our opportunities away, it would have been a very close game. And if we can put our opportunities away at the Etihad, I'm confident we can beat them. Yeah, so that's how our season's going. Not too brilliant, but it does have a chance to be successful. Our next point though, we mentioned Pep. I said if we win the European Cup, I think he'll leave Man City. Otherwise, he's got 1 more season left. But we all know at some point, Pep will leave Man City. Where do we go from there? Life after Pep. Who do we go for? One of them, ready-made, Mikel Arteta, has just left. He's gone to Arsenal. He's the new Arsenal manager now. Maybe City will see how he does at Arsenal. If he turns out to be an outstanding success, bring him back. He's got a hell of a job on his hands. Really difficult job on his hands with that Arsenal team, managing the egos, Mesut Ozil. It's difficult. I'd be very impressed if Arteta turns that around.
Right there, innit? You're one of your problems.
Sell him. Get rid of him. Done. There you go. 1 problem dealt with.
He's got quality. I don't really need it with Aubameyang, but anyway, enough about Arteta and Arsenal. This is about Manchester City now. Life after Pep, and who do you go for now? Let's say it's in a year's time. Is United's contract? Who do City go for?
You got Pochettino that's currently available.
Yeah, apparently he's made himself available. He wants only the Man United and City job.
I see him going to Manchester United. I don't see United sticking for the whole of this season with Solskjaer, particularly with how their season's going.
Yeah, but I knew they'd do this.
So,
play well against Tottenham City and then implode against the 2 lesser ones, Everton and Watford. I knew that would happen.
I think City will go for the same style and philosophy that we've gone with Pep. Like, it's important that we don't just change it up and bring in a completely different manager with a different system. They're going to want to go with a manager that plays the system that Pep plays with. So you're going to need a nice attacking manager. And I think Pochettino would be one manager that would be an option. Like I said, Arteta would be another. There's talk of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Arteta is like the lack of experience.
He's gone and gone. Like I said, he's an option because he's gone and got it now. We'll see how he does at Arsenal. If he's a success, I mean, who'd have thought 10 years ago? I'm saying to you that Man City is now a big step up from Arsenal. That's how far we've come in 10 years.
Yeah, you can't question how far City's come in 10 years.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Other managers.
That's one thing Arsenal have to realise in these other teams. You got to spend.
Other managers. Who else could we target? Really? I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm sure the usual suspects will get linked with the job, like Thomas Tuchel of PSG, but I couldn't imagine us going for him. I couldn't imagine us going for. I really don't know, if I'm honest. I mean, the Ajax manager, he's done really well. He likes to play attacking football, but he's more of like a counter-attacking manager. He'd suit the Premier League, their manager, but I'm not sure. I think City would just go with a a manager that just lets their players and team do what they want. So I think they'll just hire one of Pep's backroom staff. So who we bring in as the assistant manager is probably going to be the favourite for whoever is going to be our new manager. Whether that be that Dominic Tarrant guy that left to go to New York City Football Club that was Pep's former assistant manager. Whether that means bringing Vincent Kompany in.
What about Patrick Vieira? Is he off your
Patrick
radar
Vieira is going
now?
to Arsenal, isn't he?
Is he?
I think so. I think he's going to be
know
part.
that?
Is he not going to be part of Mikel Arteta's backroom staff? Patrick Vieira is another one that they're going to keep a close eye on. They've started developing Giovanni Van Bronckhorst they've brought in. They're going to teach them the way and then say put it into practice. So I think that's what I think City will do. I think 1 or 2 seasons of like a transformation, a different manager, see where they go.
Transition.
Yeah, where do you go? What do you
City
do?
are already in.
Pep Guardiola.
There is a bit of that transition.
Pep Guardiola. How there isn't a step up. You're at the top. We're at the top level. Jurgen Klopp.
It's not
there
just
we go.
It's not just the Pep.
We
It's
can
the way
Liverpool.
City play like that, playing that philosophy. It's got to be tiki-taka. It has to be that way.
Yeah, so it'll be someone that Pep's trained.
Yes.
So they'll just bring in Pep's apprentice.
Nice passing, Leicester.
Yeah.
Like I said, Pochettino will be a ready-made replacement, but he probably will go to United.
But more than likely, and that means then he won't be the option for
No.
Manchester City. So I don't know. It is difficult.
Well, I think it'd be a better choice for the Park Club if he did go for City. Better resource and better managed.
Better transfer policy.
Yes.
Pochettino was frustrated at Tottenham though about how much control he had, how much control did he have at City, because Pep does let our boardroom bring in who they want. They just say to Pep, we're going to be bringing in these positions with these players, this is who we're targeting, and Pep just goes, okay. So he just manages the players. Like Pochettino seemed like he wanted more control, but he speaks of Man United, he's not going to have that control.
No, they're about their players. Woodward does it, Ed.
Long live Ed Woodward.
Does beautifully onto other clubs in the Premier League now. Especially with Man United.
Right, I feel like we mentioned Liverpool a lot in this video, so we don't need
I don't
to
think we
mention
would need to say much more about Liverpool.
Liverpool's a quality side that's going to take some stopping, that's my conclusion.
Yeah.
Man United are having a horrendous season. How we lost to Man United, I don't know. They just
Counter.
severely upped their game.
And the counter, and they got the pace attack and did.
It just shows, though, like, you create the opportunities and you put your opportunities away. Like, on your day, most teams are capable of beating anyone if you play well enough. Just got to have more belief. Arsenal's having a horrendous season. They've sacked Unai Emery. There was talk that Everton were going to go after Unai Emery, but instead I think they've got a wonderful appointment in
fantastic.
Ancelotti. What a brilliant
Klopp's
manager.
worst nemesis, the kryptonite to him, and Everton's got it.
Love it. That's a brilliant appointment. I think if
And ambitious, I didn't see
if
that.
Everton give him money and allow Ancelotti to manage and do what he does, if they give him time, I think he'll be a wonderful appointment at Everton. I think that's
Something better than David Moyes.
Yeah, it's a brilliant appointment, so it'll be interesting. We've got Everton coming up on New Year's Day, so
Not enough time to get it.
not enough. Yeah, there's not enough for the transition, but he's going to have a good January transfer window there. Everton, I'm sure, will look to maybe bring in 1 or 2, maybe 3 players and try and get things happening. But Ancelotti, wonderful appointment, and so it'll be really interesting to see how he does at Everton. He might flop. If he flops, what for Ancelotti next?
He's getting to that age.
He's getting to the point where he just doesn't care.
I mean, he would have thought though, Real Madrid, Champions League winner, only 2015 got sacked at Real Madrid after winning it.
Brought in ZZ, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, now he's at Everton 4 years later.
Interesting.
Crazy.
Really interesting. I'm keeping an eye on Chelsea too, because they've promoted a lot of younger players this season. They had that transfer ban. Now the shackles are off and they're going to be allowed a January transfer window. They're in the top 4. I think they're probably going to be in the top 4
Yeah, that's an
January now.
Tottenham, otherwise that would have been interesting.
So it's really interesting to see where they go from there. Now I think Chelsea's having a better than expected season, but I think the biggest case that we can talk about and a possible successor to Pep is Leicester and Brendan Rodgers. He has been linked with a City job and replacing Pep. He's a manager that works hard, good team manager. Opinion?
I think it's a good show. He can play good football, like he allowed
Liverpool did it really attacking, really good side that with Sterling and Suarez and Sturridge.
Because he was linked with the Arsenal, it's not a bad shout, Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan Rodgers, a really good manager.
Because they're not just counter-attacking, he can play the attacking when you let him with the right players.
He's a really good manager.
Yes.
He is. I think I can't even put.
Well, Celtic, I'm not going to take that one, but
Who couldn't? Come on, come on. It's the it's the British Liga 1. I could go and manage PSG in Liga 1 and deliver a Liga 1 with no experience. In fact, we were having a conversation the other day, actually, that we could sit there on our phones and manage PSG. I wouldn't even need to turn up. And I think the same said for Celtic. It's just
they're just eventually closing the gap.
They're bridging the gap. They're getting better. They're getting better, but
as he did the Scottish version, winning everything.
I'm not. You have to go out there and do it. So I respect doing that.
Yeah.
But the quality. Come on, the quality in Scotland.
Well, hopefully Rangers will become good. To actually properly challenge them and actually get the quality up in Scotland.
Yeah.
Well, they've done well in Europe this season, which you have Celtic and Rangers both in Europe. They've done well to qualify.
I just thought I might have some Scottish followers, so I apologise for my mocking.
I see it.
I apologise for
They've got some
mocking
good
of
wins
their
in Europe
league.
this season. They have.
I apologise for the mocking of their league, but
Steven Gerrard.
He's done a good
future
job.
Liverpool boss for Klopp.
I don't know how good Steven Gerrard's going to be, if I'm completely honest. Jurgen Klopp's a manager that's delivered. If he delivers the Premier League, he'll go down as a god at Liverpool, won't he? So, how do you? It's like how do you replace the best?
Yeah, like Man United
How?
That with
What
Sir
do
Alex
you do?
Ferguson.
What do you do?
Look at 6 years, 7 years later, Man United's not got close to getting the Premier League title back.
It's that old saying again, isn't it? It's not about getting to the top. It's about getting to the top and staying there. That is difficult.
I still say every team has a great era, which they have.
We're having ours under Pep. I'm sure we'll have more successes this season, even though we're not being brilliant. I'm sure there'll be a trophy or two.
But let's talk about some other clubs that don't really get a mention in mid-table now. So Sheffield United are doing very well in 5th.
Very good Sheffield United this
Yes,
season.
I do like Chris Wilder, I do.
He's good.
Very well.
Doing really well.
Well, not limited reason, they've spent well.
They've spent well. They've spent well on the right players.
Yeah.
It suits them. They play some good football, and they do what they do, and they do it really well.
Yeah, they're on 28 points and only 12 points away, approaching the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, it's important that if they have a bad run, of ending that. That's always the biggest test for newly promoted sides. It won't be the first, won't be the last newly promoted
still
side.
unbeaten in 18 away matches now.
Who are?
Sheffield United stretches back to a championship list.
Are they? Who's their next away game?
Couldn't tell what's happening there.
Do you know?
No.
Are they at home on Boxing Day?
Not sure.
I'll have a look for you. They got City on the 29th at Etihad. So, yeah. We got good for my preview. What Aaron just mentioned there.
Yes. 18.
Carry on, speak about other clubs. We just mentioned
let's go to 6. Wolves. Is that a future City boss? Nuno?
No.
Nope, you won't have him.
Too defensive.
Too defensive.
Good manager though.
But with the resources,
he's a good manager.
Could you do better?
Could he do better? Sheffield United are at home against Watford, so yeah, the next away game's us. Oh wow, that's brilliant. Okay, looking forward to that.
Away.
Yeah, Wolves, really good team, well organised, well drilled. I think they're a dark horse to win the Europa League.
Possible, we'll say, when their nerves are holding.
I think they're good enough. I think one of the biggest threats to them is Man United winning the Europa League. And I think Wolves are capable of beating them. I think Wolves are capable of doing it.
They're in the FA Cup. Will Wolves get the better of them once again?
Wolves, team to look out for. That's my tip. Keep an eye out. Wolves, they're a good side. Like I said, keep an eye out for Everton. Arsenal, we've mentioned having a dreadful season.
Everton's had dreadful. They're in a relegation battle.
What about at the bottom, Watford? I think they've got a good appointment, bringing in Nigel Pearson. Seems to. I didn't originally when he got hired. I didn't think he was a good appointment, but he's got Watford. They've got a lot of confidence and the mojo back, and they're playing without fear. Just beating Manchester United. They played well against Liverpool. Decent.
The policy is sacking him after it goes on a bad run, and they'll keep doing that. So you could possibly, like they've done it in the past, like the promotion season. They have 3 managers in their promotion season. 3. They're not frightened to sack. It's their turnover. It's fantastic. Their turnover manager is fantastic, but it seems to work.
I can just imagine losing 3 games. Nope, you're not the answer. Out you go. Next manager in.
Newcastle had a good season. It surprised me, Steve. I thought Newcastle would be
I thought they'd probably be going down. And I was just about to say I'm surprised by Southampton, but actually the writing's been on the wall there for a little while, that they've been just gradually getting more and more. I feel if they stay up, I think they'll go next season. The writing is on the wall at Southampton. They're going to have to do more, spending more money, bring someone else better in. They're going to have to do something. But I'm Watford, I'm not sure about. Norwich, I think, will go down this season.
Yeah,
there's one pick. Norwich, I think they'll go down. They've had their little honeymoon period, including beating us, which could be crucial come the end of the season. Horrendous result, that one. It's arguably our worst result this season. So I think that's certainly probably going to be our worst result away from home this season. That's just a bad result. But you live and you learn. Yeah.
You do, well, which leads Aston Villa, who've spent over 100 million to be in a relegation.
And they got off to a good start.
They did, and they're in free fall at the minute.
That's what I was just on about with Sheffield United. Like, if they go through a bad spell and it continues and continues for any length of period of time, like, Sheffield United seem to me like the team that are trying to get to 40 points as quickly as possible. Whether they'll burn out of steam or not, I mean, how incredible would that be if Sheffield United managed to finish in the top 7?
It'd be funny if they're the Wolves again, yeah.
Like,
which well leaves that, where does that leave Man United?
Arsenal and Man United, whoa. They've got it difficult. I'll tell you what, we might not be having a great season, but this Premier League, like you said, the quality's not great. The quality's not great, but it does make it really interesting. Like, something's going to give. Something does have to give.
I think they've been hit and miss. He's played alright as a Potter.
He's got a weird accent.
He does.
Doesn't he? Like, where's he from? I was listening to him speak the other day. I think it must have been the first time I've heard him speak. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Brighton sitting in 13th. They're in that little position.
I think Tottenham.
They just hired Jose Mourinho, so yeah, I think sacking Pochettino was a horrendous decision. Bringing in Mourinho, like Mourinho.
I think Pochettino wanted to be sacked. That's my personal opinion.
You think he wanted it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't seem like it was weird. I leave Tottenham if they win the Champions League.
And then he had a massive sulk over the summer.
It's a weird thing to come out with. Like, it's not a weird thing to do. Like, if you win the Champions League, it's the pinnacle. You feel like you've taken it as far as you can. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Pep leaves. But Pep wouldn't leave because he's unhappy. Pep wouldn't leave. Like, Pep will leave because he knows that his time at Manchester City, if he leaves, will be an outstanding success. Like, it can't get any better. His job, win back-to-back Premier League for City for the first time ever.
He'll be a PSG manager, won't he?
At some point in life, more than likely. He will take a year out.
I take it's doing that, yeah, he'll do that.
I can see him at Juventus, too.
I don't see him back at Bundesliga.
No, I don't see him back at Bundesliga.
Imagine the type of guy like Mourinho wants to win all the main league titles in different countries.
France and Italy will be the ones. He spoke about international football before too. So,
Spain.
Yeah. Burnley doing what Burnley do.
Well, it's controversial with Pep in Spain, though.
He won't go to Spain. No. I like to think that England could poach Pep if they're willing to invest money. I can see Pep going to a team that's probably willing to spend a lot of money on him, you know, to bring him in so he'd be well paid. I could see like a weird country hiring him, you know, something like a China, yeah, like a China or something. Having played, yeah, I can see it. I can see not necessarily China, but a country that's on the rise, on the up. Maybe even the Middle East. I mean, I've heard Qatar's after Pep. Qatar's up actually in the ratings. Are now 55 in the world, aren't they? I don't know. It is odd. Anyway, other clubs, Burnley do what Burnley do. They're sitting in 10th. Crystal Palace, I don't think will be relegated. No. Eddie Howe doing what Eddie Howe does, has Bournemouth sat in 14th. I can guarantee Bournemouth will finish anywhere between 11th and 14th come the end of the season too. Like I said, Everton are looking to rise. We spoke about Southampton, Villa, Norwich, Watford. So the only club left to speak about is West Ham.
West
Pellegrini, the former Manchester City manager.
What disappointing season. Disappointing.
I don't think he'll be the West Ham manager come the end of the season.
No,
if it carries on like it is. So,
it's just not clicking at West Ham.
They're not, like, I don't rate their team that much. I don't rate them. I don't think the players that they've got in are very good for the money that they've spent. Like
with
they
Everton,
need more.
Spent a lot.
Spent lots of money
really
on mediocre
players. Yeah.
I agree. It's I don't know West Ham. Like, is it because they've got that stadium and they spend a lot? I don't even think they spend a lot of money on that stadium, but I know the fans have struggled to connect with that stadium. It's weird. The whole situation is weird.
It's a loyal bunch, West Ham.
They are. They're like Star Wars fans. They're a loyal bunch, passionate bunch. Won't put up with failure. Let's say that. And Pellegrini. Slowly, the opinion of Pellegrini is
because I know West Ham's got expectation of charging for Europe, and they're nowhere near.
Well, they've got Zabaleta. I mean, I love Zabaleta. I think he's wonderful, but he's just not suited anymore. The legs aren't there
are gone.
for the Premier
You've got to
League.
have pace in the Premier League. Off those legs.
I feel for Kyle Walker as soon as his legs go.
I feel as a feel for any fullback.
I feel for Jamie Vardy too as soon as his legs go eventually.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still got the pay. It's 32. He's still got.
He's not 33.
Is he 33 now?
I've got sworn I heard he was 33. It's 32 or 33 is one of them, but it's fiendish.
How many years are left in those legs?
Carries on like he is. No idea.
But I think it's one of those things. Just one day, just gone.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I agree. One day the legs just won't be there anymore, and all of a sudden won't be anywhere near the quality player that you once had, and that's something that will have to be addressed, and something less will have to address, and spend money really bringing in other players. Yeah. Right, we'll move on to, speaking of other clubs, your club. Your club's doing really well this season. How's it going?
Better than expected. We're 5th in the Championship, Preston North End, just to be clear who we're talking about now.
Yeah.
You're probably very well aware of sometimes my brother does tag along. He's not a Preston fan.
Yeah, let's clarify.
Let's put this myth of the City and Preston. I'm the PNE fan, he's the City fan.
Facts.
I say no joy or
facts
or Billy two teams.
No, I've never had a problem with people having two teams to support and that, but I know some people do. I personally don't have a problem with it, but
to me, you can never love two teams the same.
No way.
I mean,
like, no way.
It's one thing to follow enough to have an interest in them, like
yeah.
But to me,
I keep an eye on your team because you support them.
Yeah, and plus you get to account the way it is that Man City will never ever do.
Yeah, and we have a great time.
Yes, and Newcastle to 92.
And I'm going to put this question. I'll put it out there. I'll put out how the situation is. You have a friend. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. You have a friend who says to you, "Do you want to go to London this weekend or in a few months?" That's what we do. We plan far ahead. They say, "Do you want to go to London in a few months and go to Fulham away, and we'll have a great day out in London, going around drinking, eating, and stuff like that, and socialise and hanging round?" And my first instinct is, when I get asked that, is yes, I do. Then all of a sudden I'm there for Fulham away, and then you could ask me, "Do you want to go to Barnsley? Do you want to go to Burnley?" This is Jack Whitehall, like a lot of the people were predominantly between the ages of 18 and 30, but other people were there outside their age range. But I thought he was just brilliant. He's hilarious. Really good, having a good laugh. That was a really good night. Went to TGI Fridays. They do some nice drinks and maybe have a look at the menu, the drinks menu.
Well, maybe I can send you in to do research and scout for next.
Do some research. Well,
I've done some hard rock recreation before.
Hard rock ones, but don't do Berrylicious anymore, and it makes me really sad. Hard Rock Cafe.
If you want to make a Berrylicious yourself, because they'll no longer do it, check out my video.
If for some reason Hard Rock Cafe is watching this,
or The Alchemist with the key lime pie, which you don't do.
I'm like Hard Rock Cafe's #1 fan. I've got quite a few pin badges just sitting over here on my wall, and I'm going to more Hard Rock Cafes, including Cologne. Hit me up for a sponsorship, please.
Alchemist sponsor me. I'm your #1 fan.
Or Preston North End.
Or Preston North End.
Or Manchester City, or anything Man City related. Come on.
Give him a job.
Give him a job. Pay him. Yeah, went to see Star Wars today. Well, at the time of recording, didn't see it today, it's Christmas Day, but went to see Star Wars. Not going to put any spoilers in there, but I thought the film, I like J.J. Abrams as a director. I think his films are very good. I thought the episode 7 was really good, and I thought this film was better than episode 8.
That's not hard.
It's not very difficult, but overall, in terms of 7, 8 and 9, I'm not sure I'm that keen. Maybe over the coming years, when I watch them more and more, I'll learn to appreciate them, because when I first watched the prequels, I didn't think they were very good, but as I've gone through the years, like Revenge of the Sith, one of my favourite films, and I think that bar Jar Jar Binks, I thought that Phantom Menace weren't too bad of a film. I really like Darth Maul, but Attack of the Clones, that's not growing on me at all. It's just a terrible film.
No, I mean, Phantom Menace is a bad film, but it's only Darth Maul that makes it.
Darth Maul makes it amazing. The music in the Star Wars prequels are very good, actually, too.
One thing I will say about the prequels is the fighting quality as well.
Yeah, I think the prequels are better than episodes 7, 8 and 9, though.
So.
Yeah. This new film, not going to about any spoilers, because you want to go and watch it, go and watch it. Like I said, it's better than episode 8. I'd probably put it on par with episode 7.
I say worse.
If you get this film was worse, episode 7 is your favourite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't mind episode 7, to be fair. I didn't think it was too bad. This film weren't too bad either. Weren't as bad as some of the stuff that I've read from the hardcore Star Wars fans.
I'll have to read some of them.
Yeah, probably that'll make for an entertaining read, to be fair. But I didn't think the film were too bad, to be fair. We managed to pick up tickets at View for only £5. Bought some snacks and that, so like talking for like 10-15 quid per person. Ended up killing an afternoon and having a really good time. So yeah, didn't think that was too bad. Anything else that we've done or going to be doing? Not too much, really. Relaxing,
day trips. What I'll be doing over Christmas period as well.
Catching up on sleep, really. That's what I'll be doing, because I feel tired. Always feel tired. The darts, really enjoying the darts. We're looking to hopefully get to the darts next year. JSGC vlogging the darts sounds like it should be a thing. Love the darts, hence you've been seeing me tweet about it.
Cracking atmospheres, I would recommend.
Oh, brilliant.
Especially any City fans, if you do like that atmosphere, it's fantastic, and
it's wonderful.
Really missing out.
Going to any darts event's good. Like the Alexandra Palace, it's enclosed. It's just a purpose for dart. Like it's just brilliant. Like if you like having a drink and having a good time and joining in, and you
don't need to drink either if you want to get in with the atmosphere.
No, I'm just saying, like you don't have to drink, but it'd help. I'd say 90% of people there are not just had a drink, but they're proper out of their heads. It's just crazy. A really good atmosphere though, like, and you do have a really good time, and it is a lot of fun. Like for even the first few rounds, even though the matches might not be too brilliant.
Had a great time.
Graham Souness was there too. It's a growing market. You have to get in early.
Prince Harry's done it as well.
Yeah, both Prince Harry in the past have done it. He's not doing it anymore, but he used to.
Prince Harry when he's fun.
When he was fun. Remember his dress up? I'm not gonna Google Prince Harry dress up. I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna mention it.
Stan, my ginger.
Love it. Yeah. I don't think there's too much else really that's been happening really. Oh, I mentioned I'm catch up on sleep. I'm tired.
But yeah, I'll just be doing more drinks over Christmas on the MixedSid channel as well. Be doing more winter ones and New Year and Christmas theme ones.
Having a good time.
Just having a good time, Jim.
Having a good time.
Yep. So I'll have a nice time with family and friends.
And coasted into a new decade.
Yeah, new year, new decade.
New decade.
The 20s are back.
The 20s
Will
are
there be a
back.
booming 20s or a disappointing one?
You're going to turn into an old man in 10 years.
Yep.
You're going to be nearly 40.
Yep. 34 Josh.
I'm going to... Jesus.
Yeah, it's scary, innit?
Good grief. Appreciate time, because time just flies by.
It does, it's to get quicker and quicker as you get older.
I will add one thing though, if people are feeling sad about like getting older. I remember reading some great stuff about some really successful people that didn't develop until they was a lot older. Like, to make a success of themselves. Like, you feel like you passed your prime, but there's actually plenty of time for you to make a success of yourself. Loads of like successful actors, some of them haven't even started until they're into their 40s, even into their 50s and everything. So never too late to make a success. And most importantly, I think, is to enjoy yourself. I think that's more important than being successful, is enjoying yourself. I think that's the most important thing ever. Do whatever makes you happy.
Yes, as it's for your mental health and all that.
Do whatever what makes you happy.
Do what makes you happy. Happiness is always key.
Yeah. Do whatever makes you happy. Obviously, like, it's got to be reasonable, but you know what I mean. Like, you feel like going to that concert, I'd say go to that concert if it's financially doable. If you want to go out there and buy that new thing that you want to buy, instead of thinking, I don't want to do that, I'd say go out there. Most importantly, you want to go on that holiday. It's my motto. Can you afford it? Maybe not. Are you going? Certainly am. That's me.
That's poor financial bonus.
Save. I'm good at saving. Save up for it though. Like, make sure you got the money there. Like, that's what I do. I always have some money there, that in case someone comes at me and says, "Oh, do you want to go on holiday?" I'm like, well, go on then. That's what happens with me. And I end up going to some great places, having a good time. Sometimes you don't have to go away though.
Why is that a hint for Dublin?
Dublin. Never been to Ireland.
Never been.
I've got a subscriber that comments regularly on my stuff that's from Ireland, so they're watching. Hello.
Oh, hello, yeah. I'd like to go for Ireland. If you know Dublin, I'd like to go for my 30th.
Yeah, Dublin. I think we've run out of things to talk about, really.
Yes, it's our Guinness lover. That's my main attraction for Dublin.
Speaking of that mental health thing, like, even if it's just going out and like buying your favourite drink or having a chocolate bar,
just have a walk wherever it's clear and like that.
Buy a dog. Have a walk. Exercise is meant to be good, and walk. So like, buy a dog. Apparently, that's meant to be really good. They're a bit of a nightmare, dogs.
They still need looking after. You can't just buy a dog.
The more dogs you have, the more hard work it is. That's what I'd say. You end up getting covered in dog hair, stink a little bit, bark at you, wake you up, lick you. Good fun though. Particularly when they're playing, I get nibbled all the time.
Okay.
Good fun. I like dogs. Dogs are good.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's been the video. I think we'll end it there. Happy Christmas, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful year. Have a wonderful life. That's so cheesy and so horrendous. Maybe I should cut that out of the video.
Okay, we'll do that again. Do it again.
I'm going to leave that in, actually. I think it's brilliant. Like I said, it's good. Make mistakes, it's good. Laugh and learn.
But yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone watching this video. I hope you're all having an awesome day. And if you're a youngster watching this, then hope Santa brought those presents for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not a lot of my subscribers and followers are of that age. But
no.
If you are,
I think they're more
if you are, then
just enjoy your day.
Enjoy your day. Like, I don't think there's anything better than being a kid at Christmas. Christmas is just brilliant. But no matter what you're doing, have a wonderful day. Like I said, as long as it's reasonable, go out there, go and do whatever makes you happy, and go and enjoy yourself and have a good time. even if you want to hang around. I've heard some people that say like they love hanging around by themselves, and all they want for Christmas is to get rid of all that and hang around by themselves to get a spare 10 minutes. I've heard people that go into...
Sounds like a busy mother, like, no.
Yeah, they go into the bathroom, don't they, and spend like not even doing anything, just 10-15 minutes away from the chaos, really. Yeah, have a wonderful day. I hope you're all having a great day, and yeah, we'll see you all again for the next video. Links to everything, they're in description below. Social media links popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you so wish. I'm going to be generous because it's Christmas, and I'm going to leave your social media stuff in description below too. If you want to go and follow Aaron on any of the social medias, then you can so do. His Instagram's a lot more interesting than mine, so yeah, I always plug it.
So if you're interested in cocktail,
it's more interesting than mine.
Yours.
It's more interesting.
I think yours can be if you had the potential for the vlog side of it.
Yeah, but yeah, I do that.
Drinks.
I do that. Yeah, go and check him out if you so wish. Like I said, links to everything in the description below. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're always aiming for more subscribers, so any help towards number gains on here would be much appreciated. And yeah, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening to the song that we're singing?
I am.
I love that song. 14. Renabon was 14 points in front. Now we're
11
11
points for
behind.
potential and 14 points behind you.
Here's to a successful 2020. I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been MixedSid with my hat on, blah, 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 and JSGC. I'll see you all again for the next video.
Peace. Ciao for now.